Beginning. The first time I met the Queen of Valoria, she was standing on the landing pad of Outpost Helion, staring at me like I was a defective piece of cargo. I was Staff Sergeant Elias Ward, human liaison and military advisor to the Thalorian Empire, one of the oldest, strangest, and most powerful alien civilizations humanity had ever encountered. Thalorians were tall, lithe beings with silvered skin, luminescent eyes, and hair that shimmered with colors depending on emotion. The Queen's hair that day glowed a bright, impatient crimson. "You," she said, pointing at me. "You are the human who survived the fall of Carthy's outpost, yes?" "That's me," I said, trying to stand at attention. "Staff Sergeant Ward, reporting." "Good. You will do." Her guards exchanged nervous looks. I wasn't sure what she meant, until she stepped aside. Behind her stood 3 Thalorian princesses. I froze. The oldest, Aurelia, glowed with the calm confidence of a warrior. The second, Lyra, had curious, violet eyes that studied everything. The youngest, Tessai, was tiny and terrified, clinging to her sisters. And they were all looking at me. "Your Majesty," I said slowly. "What, exactly, will I do?" "My daughters require protection during their training tour," she said. "You will be their guardian. Their chaperone, as humans say." That wasn't unusual. Humans often advised alien nobles. But what she said next nearly stopped my heart. "And I expect," she continued, "that when I return for them, there will be grandchildren." I choked on my own breath. "Gee, grandchildren? From who?" She raised an elegant eyebrow. I was under the impression humans understood reproduction. "That's not, I mean, Your Majesty. You can't just assign." But she'd already turned away. "You humans are quite compatible," she added. "And your reputation for durability is impressive. I look forward to seeing what your genes contribute." The landing thrusters engaged. Her transport lifted into the sky, leaving me speechless with 3 alien princesses, all staring at me like I was the next item on the training schedule. Aurelia crossed her arms. "Don't worry, human. Mother exaggerates." Lyra nodded. "Yes. She likely only expects 1 grandchild." The youngest tilted her head. "What is a grandchild?" I groaned. This assignment was going to kill me. Or worse, it was going to marry me. Emily training princesses is nothing like training soldiers. Over the next month, I learned several very important truths. Thalorian princesses are terrifying. Each one was trained in a different combat specialty. They all believed humans were fragile, until I proved otherwise. Our first training session was simple enough, hand-to-hand combat, until Aurelia knocked me 20 feet across the courtyard. When I staggered up, she blinked. "You survived that? Impressive." Lyra took notes. "Human skeletal durability exceeds expectation." Even little Tessai poked my ribs and murmured, "Bouncy." Training continued: stealth missions, survival drills, weapon practice. The princesses grew more confident around me, even fond. But everywhere we went, rumors spread. The human chosen by the queen. The future royal consort? The one destined to father heirs? I denied it every time. But the princesses never corrected the whispers. One night, while resting under the twin moons, Aurelia sat beside me. "Human," she said, her voice softer than usual. "Mother meant well. By ordering me to produce grandchildren?" I muttered. She smiled slightly. "You misunderstand our customs. Thalorian royalty chooses partners who prove loyalty, skill, and courage. You saved our mother's life at Carthy's. That is not taken lightly." Lyra approached, kneeling beside us. "And you treat us not as fragile ornaments, but as warriors." Tessai leaned against my leg. "You don't yell. I like that. I sighed. You three deserve real respect. I just didn't expect to be drafted into potential fatherhood. Aurelia studied me. Is it truly so frightening to suddenly be told you're responsible for the future of an empire? I laughed weakly. Yes. The princesses went quiet. Then Lyra murmured, but perhaps responsibility is shared between equals. I looked at her, surprised. For the first time, their gazes weren't teasing, amused, or curious. They were hopeful, and that scared me more than the battlefield ever had. War arrives. Our bonding time ended abruptly when the sky tore open with fire. The Krell Dominion, a ruthless alien race, launched a surprise attack. Explosions rocked the training grounds. Buildings collapsed. Troops scrambled. I grabbed the princesses, barking orders. Aurelia, rally the warriors. Lyra, get the communication grid online. Tessai, stay behind me. But Tessai shook her head, eyes glowing a fierce blue. No. I fight. She stepped forward and summoned a wave of psionic force that blasted a squad of Krell soldiers off their feet. Holy hell! The tiny one was the strongest of them all. The battle raged through the forests, the cliffs, the command towers. The Krell weren't here to conquer. They were here to abduct the princesses. The queen had many enemies, and her daughters were valuable hostages. We held the line for hours. I fought beside them, Aurelia matching my strikes, Lyra calculating troop movements, Tessai shielding us with psychic barriers. But eventually, a Krell warbeast broke through our defenses. 20 feet tall, armored, roaring with bloodlust. The princesses braced themselves. I stepped in front of them. No, I said. This one's mine. I charged the creature, sliding under its claws, firing into exposed joints, climbing onto its back, slamming grenades into its armored spine. It thrashed. It screamed. It collapsed. When the dust settled, I lay on the ground, bleeding from half a dozen cuts and burns. The princesses knelt around me. Aurelia's voice trembled. Idiot human. Lyra pressed her hands to my wounds. You weren't supposed to fight alone. Tessai's small hands shook as she touched my cheek. Don't leave us. Please. I blinked, pain blurring my vision. I thought you needed to be protected. Aurelia gripped my hand. We want to protect you too. Their hair glowed, soft, warm gold. Affection. The kind that meant something deeper in Thalorian culture. Something binding. Something dangerous. The queen returns. Reinforcements arrived. The Krell retreated. The training outpost smoldered behind us. And then her transport descended. The queen stepped out, regal, furious, radiant. She saw the destruction. She saw her daughters. She saw me, battered and bruised, standing between them like a shield. Her expression softened. She approached, towering over me. You protected my daughters with your life. Her voice carried across the silent courtyard. Again. I swallowed. They protected me too. Her lips curved faintly. Yet you stand before me. And they stand behind you. That speaks enough. Then she said something that made the princesses stiffen in shock. Elias Ward. Human soldier. You have proven yourself worthy. Worthy? Worthy of what? The queen turned to her daughters. Choose. The oldest stepped forward. Aurelia. I choose him. The second followed. Lyra. I choose him. The youngest placed her hand on mine. Tessai. I choose him. Then the queen looked at me. This is our way. They choose their future. You need only accept or decline. My heart pounded. 3 princesses. An entire empire. A destiny I never asked for. But when I looked at them, the fierce warrior, the brilliant strategist, the gentle psychic, I realized something. They weren't asking for ownership. They were asking for partnership, for a life built together. And for the first time, that didn't terrify me. I took a slow breath, then nodded. Their hair burst into brilliant shades of gold and rose. The queen smiled. "Good," she said. "Then we may discuss grandchildren." I nearly fainted. Ending. The celebration lasted days. The Empire declared a new alliance, one tying humanity and the Loria together through the bond we had formed. But the final moment came quietly, long after the festivities ended. I stood on a balcony overlooking the twin moons, the cool night wind brushing my skin. Footsteps approached. All three princesses joined me. Aurelia rested her arm on my shoulder. Mother teases, but the future is ours to decide. Lyra leaned against my side. Grandchildren are not obligations. They are possibilities. Tessai hugged my arm. We have time. Lots of time. I inhaled, letting the weight of everything settle. I never imagined my life turning out like this, I whispered. Aurelia smiled. Neither did we. Lyra tapped my chest. But fate favors the brave. Tessai looked up at me with big silver eyes. And you are brave. The doors behind us opened. The queen stepped out, watching us with quiet pride. You have embraced your role, Elias Ward, she said softly. Not because it was demanded, but because you chose it. She bowed her head in honor few ever received. Welcome to our family. For the first time, the enormity of it didn't scare me. It felt right. Standing there under the twin moons, with three princesses at my side and a queen's blessing behind me, I realized I wasn't just their guardian anymore. I was their future. And maybe they were mine.